I'm going to be sharing with you what the number one skill is, or quality, in order to become a millionaire and also to become a multimillionaire. And before I share what it is and a really personal life or death story from yesterday that happened to me, write in the comments below, what do you think is the number one skill to become a multimillionaire? Now that you've written that, and thank you for doing that, I'm going to share with you a story that illustrates the concept, and then I'll wrap up at the very end saying, well, what is the skill? But you'll probably already know what it is by then. Also, I have a free class, powerlifeclass.com, where I go step by step in about 30 minutes. It's a free video. There's no opt-in or anything required. It takes you how to manifest the life that you design step by step, and by tapping into this universal power, infinite power around us. So yesterday, where I'm living right now in Brazil, it's a hotel slash apartments. So every single day, someone comes and then they clean the apartment where I am. And I chose to live here because I'm so close to nature. It's, for me, and you can see that as I'm teaching about energy as well as business and success and things like that. For me, it's the most wonderful thing to be right here, basically right next to the river. It's almost like being in the forest, but not being in the forest. And right next to nature and so close. So I had just eaten breakfast, and there's a restaurant on the first floor, and I had probably 4 or 5 glasses of acai and eggs and omelets and a lot. And I needed to go to the bathroom, but they were cleaning the apartment, so I said, okay, well, I'll find, it's called in Brazil serviço. It's a bathroom. It's not that nice of a bathroom, but it was on the same floor, and I found one. And then I said, okay, I'll just go to the bathroom there, let her finish organizing the apartment, and everything will be fine. So I go into the bathroom, and it's a tiny little bathroom, probably about 3 feet, 4 feet by 4 feet. And I go to the bathroom, and then I decide I want to leave. So then I go to open the door. There's no door handle. So here I am in the bathroom, and I actually found the door handle like 5-10 minutes later, and here's the door handle, kind of bent because I was trying to use it to get out. So here I am. So imagine yourself now. You're locked in this bathroom. It's hot. There's no air conditioning. The toilet didn't flush. And you can't get out. There's no window. And it's about 4 feet by 4 feet. Maybe a little larger, about that size. And you start pounding on the door and screaming, well, in Portuguese, it's socorro, socorro. And no one answers. Now 5-10 minutes pass, and your heart starts racing, and the initial fight or flight kind of kicks in. Maybe you start to sweat. Well, it's very hot. It's humid here. And you keep on pounding. You try to pry open the door. It doesn't work. You try to get the lock open with your fingers. It doesn't move. And all you have is your cell phone and the clothing, and you have sandals on. And then you look around for something that you can use, and all you find is this. So you start pounding away at the door, and you start trying to get the hinges off the door. You start pounding on it and continue to scream, ajuda, ajuda, just help, help, stuck in the bathroom, and no one answers. And now 10, 20, 30 minutes have passed. You're completely drenched in sweat. This is me. This is what happened to me yesterday. And something kicks in. It goes from basically a situation of fear of something new to trying all kinds of things. And then suddenly something happens, and there's a little bit of a shift where one connects with this infinite power around us. You might have heard people who are in type of military or combat situations, and something happens. They end up running through, and bullets are flying to save somebody, and they're able to do it. They're able to do miraculous things because they've tapped into this power around us, which we can tap into too, while also, yes, applying common sense business methods and strategies and things like that. Of course, we need to do that, but we can also do this. So suddenly something clicked in my head, and I started messaging every person who I knew to help me. No one messaged back. They must have all been busy at that moment. And then finally I got one who started to message me back, and I was sending voice messages, and to start to help. And then something else popped in my head, to find the phone number of the reception in this humongous building, so someone could just come up and open the door. It turned out that at the moment that I called the reception, they had already gotten the call from the final person who had reached. And it was probably between 30 minutes to an hour, but it felt like 3 to 4 hours in solitary confinement, like the movie The Saw, where you can't get out, and everything you try to pry the door open, it just slams shut again. It was a wonderful experience. I highly recommend it because it really, really illustrates how to become a millionaire, how to become a multimillionaire. And what is that skill set? What is this skill? What is the quality? The quality is make it a life or death situation. When it becomes so critical that whatever one's fears are, one's excuses, or one's messed up mental constructs of, well, yes, I want to be rich. Oh, yes, I want to have my own business, becomes, I have to have a successful business. It's life or death. Just like some of the most successful warriors and invaders, they burned their ships. There was no way back. And unfortunately, I think that there's just things that are too good for so many people that the good keeps them from becoming great. So if you want to come back to this video and visualize yourself locked in a 4x4 room with a toilet and a sink and trying to get out and no one hearing you, and start to feel that stress, feel that adrenaline rushing through your body, and associate that with whatever it is maybe you've been putting off, or maybe something you put aside for whatever excuse or reason, and fuel that adrenaline into actually taking action. Something really magical happened. The moment I realized I was locked, this fight or flight fear started going into me, and I started, okay, breathe slowly. But then as soon as I started taking action, I realized it's life or death. My body's going into this mode. I can't get out of here. I'm stuck. And I started to take action. I started to pound on the door. I started to find the doorknob. I started to pound. I started to pry. I started to demolish the door and the wall. As soon as I started to do that, the fear went away. So this skill, the number one skill, is to make it urgent, to make it a life or death situation, and to have that mentality, to do whatever it takes to make it work. And then do something and act with that urgency behind it, because when you act, whatever the fear is, and fear is false evidence appearing real, something magical happens. And another magical thing happens is that when you start to take action with the life or death mentality, you tap into this infinite power around you, and you start to have inspired ideas, just like I did. Thank God I had my cell phone, or maybe it was a life or death situation. One could very easily die in that little room that no one seemed to pay attention to when people were pounding on the wall. So thank God I had my cell phone. But even beyond having my cell phone, it didn't come to me at the start to message my friends. It didn't come to me until way later to actually call the building, even though it's pretty common sense. It's the same thing with becoming a millionaire and a multimillionaire. When you have that commitment, you're gonna get ideas, but those ideas are only gonna come when you're taking the action with that incredible level of commitment. So yesterday I was leaving the building, and I asked something, I think, to make a new key to the reception. And they were just, you could tell she was about to fall over laughing. Oh, you're the guy who got locked in the bathroom. And yeah, I laughed too. It's pretty funny at this point. If this video was beneficial to you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content specifically about how to manifest the life that you design by tapping into this infinite power around us. And share a comment below, share it with somebody else to help positively impact more people. And I have created a free class that shows you step by step in as much detail as I can give in 30 minutes. There's no opt-in or anything required. It's just a video on a page, Power Life class on how to manifest the life that you design by tapping into this universal power around you. Have a fantastic day. And next time you go in a bathroom, don't do what I did. Make sure that there's a way out.